Sin Fronteras, Western New York.
This is for you, mis hermanas y hermanos.
Where you can voice your thoughts on how we live, work, and play in Western New York.
Buffalo is in a renaissance, and Latinos are a huge part of our city's growth.
We want to hear your voice.
Llámame 837-1112.
Or hit us up on Facebook 24/7, 7 days a week. Talk with Samantha and Michelle, Sin Fronteras, Western New York, every Friday at 1 on WUFO 1080 AM.
¡Huepa!
Presented by the Hispanic Heritage Council of Western New York, dedicated to preserving the history of Hispanics in Western New York for future generations. Sponsored by Goya. Si es Goya, tiene que ser bueno. You're listening to Sin Fronteras, Western New York at 1. Good afternoon, I'm Samantha Martinez.
And I'm Michelle Agosto. Sin Fronteras, Western New York brings you the latest events happening in our community this weekend, including today's studio guest, Anibal Soler from New York State Association of Latino Administrators.
Y número 3 en el Top Billboard Latino esta semana están escuchando Luis Fonsi y Demi Lovato en Échame la Culpa. Sin Fronteras, West New York at 1 starts right now.
Hey Fonsi.
Oh no, ¿qué pasa de mí? Hey, yeah. Ay. You tell me that you love me. You tell me that you need me. You knew it from the start, you're not my only one, and still you wouldn't leave me.
Oh, no need to say you're sorry. You know you gotta leave me, but now you gotta know that nothing good will come if you're with me.
Not on you, not on you, not on you, my love. It's better if we let it be. Not on you, not on you, not on you, my love.
My love.
Baby, put the blame on me. Not on you, not on you, not on you, my love. I only wanna set you free. Not on you, not on you.
Sin Fronteras, West New York is brought to you by our sponsor, Goya Foods. Si es Goya, tiene que ser bueno.
And this is Michelle, and we're back now with our interview with Anibal Soler. He is a Buffalo Public School administrator, but he also is part of the New York State Association of Latino Administrators, and we're so happy that you're here to join us.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
So I have a lot of questions about the New York State Association of Latino Administrators, which I'm going to call NYSALAS.
Okay,
because
yeah.
it's a lot quicker.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so if you can tell us a little bit about NYSALAS and explain a little bit about how you got involved with them.
So there's a national organization called ALAS, and we're a state affiliate called, obviously, New York State. ALAS, or Association of Latino Administrators and Superintendents. And our goal is to kind of build a professional network for aspiring Latino teachers who may want to become administrators, for current Latino administrators and superintendents. And we know that there's a lot of power in unification and in having a larger group. And so we know that oftentimes we need professional support, networking, mentoring, sometimes exposure to best practice. So the goal of the organization is to provide that. The goal is to provide a larger network of professionals, particularly in New York State, that we can lean on each other from different regions, share best practice, but obviously grow future leaders and grow teachers who want to aspire to be administrators, who are Latinos or who may come from that background, or who ultimately just believe and advocate for Latino youth and bilingual education and things of that nature.
Oh, so that means you don't necessarily have to be an administrator. You could be an aspiring, a teacher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we are open to everybody, aspiring teachers, retired administrators, currently practicing administrators, higher ed folks. Again, the goal here is to unify voice, to grow influence, and to obviously network and to push the agenda for Latino students, Latino communities, and best practices for bilingual education, multilingual education, things of that nature.
So how long has NYSALAS been in existence?
So it's about 2 years old. So obviously when you start an organization, you take baby steps. But we've been about 2 years old as a state affiliate, recognized with the national organization, ALAS. So this is our first kind of kickoff event we're leading, kind of a larger event. We did some smaller networking events in Buffalo and in Rochester. And so now we're kind of taking it a step forward with our next event.
So if you have a question for Anibal Soler, you can call in at 716-837-1112. So, Anibal, talk a little bit about your own background and how you ended up connecting with NYSALAS.
So professionally, as a Latino, I was a teacher. I was an art teacher.
Yay.
Yeah, I know that hits close to home to you. But, as I wanted to do more in my school, I worked in Rochester City Schools at the time, and it was urban, and I wanted to be able to influence and move up. I looked for professional organizations that would be able to help kind of turn back and lift me up through either professional learning, networking. And so, being able to connect with other Latino administrators kind of helped push my trajectory, and decided to pursue administration, moved up from a vice principal to a principal, and then obviously relocated here to Buffalo from Rochester. And having other Latino professionals that you can relate to in terms of just culture, background, experience with language, but also people who believe about our kids, about saving urban schools and urban institutions, and trying to do what's best to advocate them. And that's kind of, my own personal kind of quick, condensed, narrated version of my journey. But, being able to go back and lift other people up. And so I feel like inherently others that did that for me, we inherently have to do that for others. And, again, ultimately focused on better schools, stronger communities, stronger cities, and truly, defining that one Buffalo to be about, at least in Buffalo sense, turning this whole city around through the schools and through the educational system.
So I can sense your passion about that work, right?
Yeah.
So, and you talked about lifting up, and that you're here to lift, our brothers and sisters up. And then there were people that did that for you. So I was wondering if you can maybe share, or if you've encountered in your path some Latino administrators or Latino educators, or just important people that have influenced your own work and career.
Sure. I think for me, to be more personal, it starts with who you grew up with. Having fortunate to have I'm still very fortunate to have a grandfather who was a Latino male, a strong figure. To set that example. And so having that at home kind of is the impetus. And so you look for other Latino males, and as you go through professionally, sometimes the first thing I do when I walk into a room is like, who in here looks like me, who in here can speak the language I speak, or who in here has similar cultural experiences. And so professionally I've been fortunate to have principals in Rochester, but also professionals here in Buffalo. Dr. Mauricio is a perfect example of someone who I got to meet through this organization, through ALAS.
And who's Dr. Mauricio?
I'm sorry, Dr. Mauricio is the Chief of Strategic Alignment and Innovation. He's doing a lot of great work in the city of Buffalo through community schools. And, having the network is how I met him. I didn't know him when I moved into the community, but through ALAS and having this association was an opportunity we shared. We went through similar professional development. And then when I came here, I knew I had almost an hermano that I could rely on to kind of get some, support or background in a safe, trusted environment. And so he's just one quick example, but I was fortunate in Rochester. I had Dr. Manuel Rivera, who was superintendent for a very long time in Rochester. So I've been able to see various Latinos in various capacities. And then now that I kind of find myself in a leadership role as a principal, I'm able to be that example to other Latinos. And so it's powerful. Again, I'm of the belief that it's our job to turn back and lift others up. Hence ALAS, wings like an eagle. And so we're taking flight, and we're trying to bring others with us.
I see. So the wings is part of that logo.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, ALAS, yeah. So we got an eagle with the
Yeah.
New York State, and so ALAS in Spanish are the wings. And so that we try to work on that little wordplay.
Right. That's excellent. So talk a little bit more about why you're really here to share all of this amazing stuff. But NYSALAS is offering up to the region, the Tri-Region Summit, which includes, I believe, Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse, that area. So it's really exciting because this is the first. Is it the first summit or?
Yeah, so it's the first time we've ever done
Okay.
something of this magnitude, and so we've got 6 regions across the state,
Okay.
and we're focusing on, in this situation, we're focusing on 3 regions in Western New York: Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse. geographically they're within an hour or two within each other. But also we know that there's a lot Latino administrators or aspiring teachers or people who just believe in the work that we're trying to do. And so we were fortunate and blessed to have the Chancellor of New York State be our keynote, Dr. Betty Rosa. So if you do not know, she is a Latina, the highest position in the state. She is the Board of Regents. She leads the work. An amazing career and an amazing example for many of us to aspire to. So we're fortunate to have her speak. She'll be speaking about the priorities of New York State to kind of the three regions in the summit. We also have Buffalo will be presenting on the new education bargain and for schools, and Dr. Mauricio will be delivering that presentation. And in Rochester, we'll have the Superintendent of Rochester delivering what's called the Path Forward, which is their strategic plan to kind of move that district forward, and that'll be presented by Superintendent Barbara Dean Williams.
Oh, very nice. So there's some alignment to the future, pathways to the future, and Latinos are a really big part of that.
Exactly.
So how did you connect with her? Was she like, yes, I'm there? I mean, how did that? Because that's pretty amazing. You got such a headliner.
Yeah. So again, just fortunate, blessed. The stars aligned. So I had actually met Dr. Rosa before she was chancellor through ALAS. So I attended a Superintendent Leadership Academy program, and she was one of the presenters to us in the national organization of ALAS, and she did one of our sessions. Being from New York, you find ways to connect, and we stayed in contact. That was in 2012. Last 6 years, she's been a professional reference, contact, and a support, and she's about the work and reached out. I told her what we were trying to do. She's all for this, and she accepted. And so, obviously she's got work to do, and it'll be a serious conversation on the priorities of the state, but that was kind of how I got the connection. I just asked her, I begged, I did whatever I could to make sure she's there. Her schedule is so full, but she found time to make, because this is important, because she knows what we're trying to do.
Right. So do you have, so for anyone who's interested, do you have to be I know we talked about you didn't have to be a minister, but you could go to the summit and you can just go? Yep. Is there a fee? All those things that we'd like to share.
So just some information on the summit. It's called the Tri-Region Summit. The theme is Latino Administrators Taking Flight. You do not have to be Latino to attend. You just have to be passionate about education, urban education, helping our youth in the city do better. And you're looking for opportunities to network with other like-minded individuals. There's a $20 registration fee for it. It will be collected at the door. It is located at RIT Inn and Conference Center in Henrietta, New York. Again, it starts from 9 to 2 this Saturday, and we will have Dr. Betty Rosa headlining it. And any information, you can go to our Facebook. We are located at New York, ALAS. Again, our Facebook is New York, ALAS, and our Twitter is NYSALAS. Again, follow us on Twitter or like us, do whatever you need to do, but we will be posting photos and information from the summit.
And is there a registration fee?
Yes, I said $20 will be collected at the door. You can register online, the flyers online.
So you take them at the door.
Yeah, we'll take it right at the door. You know how we do in terms of, we just want to provide access, and so we don't want to create any barriers for people not to attend. So we'll go as old school as taking fees at the door. So.
That works. Very good. So are you expecting a large turnout? Have you gotten some registrants coming in?
Yeah. So we have about actually 50 people pre-registered.
Okay, that's
so
nice.
we're looking to, so the goal, we like to set the bar high. We had a goal. There wasn't 50, it was a lot higher, but we are really excited for 50 people already pre-registered, saying they're coming. And so my hope is with, obviously today being on the air here, and also additional advertising online and social media and emails and doing picking up the phone, inviting people and telling them to bring one. Everyone bring a friend, but we're hoping to have a really great turnout and a good event.
Excellent. So you're on Twitter, you're on Facebook.
Yep.
Do you plan to do any of this Facebook Live? Because there are some people who may not be able to make it. So are you thinking about? So
we're still, growing as an organization, and some of the members I have are 100% in the 2018 world. So we may get there. We may get to that point if we have that capacity. Obviously, I'll be kind of emceeing the event, or else I'd go live. But so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned. We like things to be in person. Yeah, in person the best. But yeah, we got to get there to that point. Maybe we'll give snippets on Facebook Live, but we want people to come out and attend. And obviously, the networking is really big, making sure we're aligning across the state, and we're doing what's best for kids.
So do you expect this to be an annual event, or what are your plans for the next few big events to get our people together for this?
So this is only 3 regions, so we really have 6 regions we kind of broken the state out to. We have Long Island, New York City, Westchester, Mid-Hudson, Albany kind of is one region, and then there's Syracuse, Rochester, and Buffalo. So, you know, we got to get our other 3 regions. We got to get an event downstate. They would say upstate, we got to go downstate.
Right.
So we got to do something for that area. And then the goal is, you know, we got to build some momentum, grow our membership, and then the goal is hopefully to have maybe some kind of a larger conference, multi-day event. Hopefully next year or the year after at the latest. But again, this is our 2nd year, and we're looking to build membership, build networking, and also grow in terms of the work. And what's nice is at this summit, there's actually going to be some time for the attendees to talk about what would they like to see next, what would they like to see moving forward. Again, with the dynamic presenters we have and the amazing keynote, we'll also have some work time to talk about next step as an organization, because it's important to have the voice of those who are ultimately going to be a part of that unit.
Right. So, you know, I want to go back to Chancellor Rosa, because I think it's just, you know, she's met, so I'm sure she's met barriers, as we all do, and she's reached such a summit, such a perfect, you know, the Tri-Region Summit. She's reached such a pinnacle in her career. And she is a role model for a lot of Latina administrators.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if, I don't know if there's a session out there now, but have you thought about the Latina administrator? You know, I mean, Latinos, you know, men have their, have their role, but, Latina administrators sometimes need that extra support. I'm wondering if you're thinking about that at all.
Yeah, so I mean, the tough thing with Latino is it's intended to be masculine, but really the new movement out is Latinx.
That's right.
So that we take away the gender piece, and so this is about both men and women, and so obviously having Dr. Rosa was a blessing for us, but also it's intentional so that other women see that that administration is not a male-dominated type workforce, and actually education is not. It's mainly women who are educators and leaders, but we want to make sure we provide opportunities for both groups, and so mainly maybe moving forward, that's a conversation we have. But we are the New York State Association of Latinx administrators and superintendents, and so so I think those are things we can have, but obviously we want to focus on leadership, period. Gender is not, we don't want that to be a barrier, and we know that networks are important.
Okay, so I'd like to just ask you a couple more questions before you have to leave us.
Okay.
So as far as NYSALAS and the core group that's here,
sure.
Can you talk about the leadership that's running it here, and is there a way to maybe reach you guys? If I know they can go on Facebook, but there are sometimes, like you said, that personal piece. Is there a way to contact any of the leadership at NYSALAS? Is there something that you can help us with that?
Yeah, so locally we have the president is here, David Baez. He's the president of NYSALAS. Dr. Mauricio is a board member. I'm an active member in the group. I'm kind of the chair for the summit. So we're continuing to grow, define roles, and we're actually asking for folks to volunteer for leadership in their region. So we want some leadership from Rochester to step forward, Syracuse, so that we can start to build a network. We have a board that consists of superintendents across the state currently. And so as we move forward, if folks are interested, obviously they can go on social media, like, comment, but then we can also email us at NYSALAS@yahoo.com. Again, that's NYSALAS@yahoo.com. You can submit any questions and reach out to us, and one of us will be responsive and get back to you, and hopefully we get to meet more people at the events and start to grow our network.
Excellent. So Anibal, I'm so happy that you came. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we...
No, we're looking forward to it. Hopefully we'll have a good report, and hopefully we won't be the last time we'll be on the radio to report something or have an event for us to get the word out. So we really appreciate you giving us this option and this opportunity to be on the air and share with Buffalo what's going on with Latino administrators and superintendents.
You got it. Thank you, Anibal Soler. And now we'd like to bring you the latest from our sponsor, Goya.
Tito, no es correcto que hagas después de tomar tu néctar Goya. Marita, niña, Benito.
Los néctares Goya son ricos, naturales y nutritivos, con más frutas que los demás. Tamarindo, pera, mango y muchos más. Saboréalos y un de tu boca surgirá. Néctares Goya. Más fruta, más sabor.
Goya tiene que ser bueno.
And now with our WEPA events. The February deadline for renaming the Niagara Branch Public Library is soon approaching. The Hispanic Heritage Council of Western New York wants your help in deciding which Hispanic, Latino, Latina will be honored as we rename our Westside Public Library. Forms are available at www.hispanicheritagewny.org or send in your recommendations via email to info@hispanicheritagewny.org, or you can mail them to P.O. Box 361, Buffalo, New York 14201. Lafayette International Community High School, located at 370 Lafayette Avenue, is hosting an orientation for recently arrived families from Puerto Rico with children in grades 8 through 12. This event happens tomorrow, Saturday, January 20th, from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. You will learn about New York State high school requirements, graduation pathways, SAT and ACT college assessments, and how to pick the right college. Presentations will be provided in Spanish, and there will be door prizes and a hot breakfast and lunch for those who come. For more information on how to register, contact Lafayette High School at 716-816-4358. And for those interested in small business and networking, you may want to consider registering for the Straight Talk Conference taking place this Saturday, January 20th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Buffalo Niagara Convention Center in downtown Buffalo. This is the 22nd year of Straight Talk, where you can experience up to 25 hours of networking, business education, counseling, and training. Tomorrow's event will include continental breakfast, networking, introductory session to business basics, lots more networking, and many relevant workshops like Make Yourself Creditworthy and Social and Media Marketing. Pre-registration is $20, and you can register at www.wnystraighttalk.org or call 716-551-4301 for more information. And that's our WEPA for the week. On a personal note, I'd like to take this time on behalf of the Hispanic Heritage Council of Western New York to share our deepest condolences to good friend and Hispanic Heritage Council co-director Eileen Gonzalez Martin. After a long battle, Eileen's mother, Yvonne Martinez, has passed away. Eileen loved her mother, and her mother was Eileen's biggest fan. We want Eileen to know that there are no words that we can express to tell you how sorrowful we feel at the moment, but we are here for you, and we'll celebrate her memory with you every day. We love you, Eileen. And so now we're going to close the show. Thanks so much for joining Sin Fronteras Western New York. We're here every Friday at 1. Remember, you can always subscribe to Sin Fronteras Western New York on YouTube, or catch us online on our Facebook page whenever you want, all the time, 24/7. Adios.
Ciao.
Me quedé dormido escuchando salsa, soñé con el cielo y que San Pedro me esperaba. Aquí estaban dando una fiesta enorme, estaba cantando Héctor Lavoe y Pira el Conde, y sentí repicar un tipo sensacional, era Tito Puente. Y empezando a improvisar, Frankie Ruiz hizo notar, y escuché este coro angelical. La salsa vive, ahí llega hasta el cielo. Que Dios bendiga la tradición de nuestro pueblo. ¡Uy!
La salsa vive, llega hasta el cielo. Que Dios bendiga la tradición de nuestro pueblo.
La salsa no muere.
Mis ojos se aguaron cuando presentaron
al inconfundible, al inmortal Peguín Rodríguez. Pero aquello enloqueció cuando escena se subió Ismael Rivera, y Tito Rodríguez fue algo que había que ver, y junto con